Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. John Henry Soto here with you as always. This is a live morning space for artists, filmmakers, creators who are navigating the real world of making art. On this show, we talk about possible. Well, it's Wednesday. Just getting through this week here. I'm going to start again. This is a live show. Live. Oh boy. On this show, we talk about positivity, but not the fluffy kind. We talk about what actually stops artists from moving forward, the struggles we all face, and how to move through them with clarity and purpose. We'll also highlight good things happening in the industry, share ideas, suggestions, and practical advice. And most importantly, we'll have honest conversations here. This is a live show, as you can tell. So if you're here, please feel free to ask questions or join in. This is the place to reset, get grounded, and start the day moving forward as an artist. And good morning, everyone. Little stumbling of my words there in the morning, but just so you know, this is live. I could have cut that out, but I can't because it's happening right now in real time. Hope you're all doing well. It is Wednesday. It is February 25th, 2026, and we are here live talking about the speed of the film industry and how fast it's changing. The film industry is changing at a speed that we've never seen before. In just a few short years, the tools of production, distribution, marketing, and even storytelling itself have been reshaped by AI, virtual production, and direct to audience platforms. What once required massive studio infrastructure can now be done with a lean team and the right workflow. While other areas of entertainment are evolving, filmmaking feels like it's strapped to a rocket. Does anybody feel that way? I mean, it's like rocket ride. It's unbelievable. Constantly adapting, it's constantly recalibrating, constantly redefining what's possible. And I've been reading so many articles recently about this incredible rocket ride that the film industry is in. And it what it does is that it scares a lot of people. It also gives people a lot of reasons to not do it, complaining reasons to not do it, and justifications. They'll justify like, oh, I don't, it's not even worth it anymore because of AI. AI is going to be doing everything. If you're a filmmaker or a musician or an artist of any type and you're saying that, then you're it's a really dark place. You should not be there. AI is an opportunity. AI has made workflows easier in so many ways. If you're a filmmaker, there's I mean, people will lose jobs, but only the people that do not dive into learning about what AI is. Those are the ones that are really going to be losing the jobs. Because if you think about it, if you're an editor and you have a tool that can help you edit a little bit faster, how much more work are you going to get done that year? Sometimes it can take months to edit a project. Imagine if you can turn that into 3 weeks of editing a project. How many more projects can you do that year? It's going to speed up your workflow. So you have to look at it that way. If you're doing lighting, if you're doing sound, and it can help your workflow, well, it's not going to take away your skill. It's not going to take away how you actually listen. If you're a sound guy, you're still going to have a good ear, right? So that's the thing. You have to really utilize it. And I'm telling you, it'll speed up your workflow so much, but fighting it is the worst thing you can do. All right, I'm gonna get going here to some reading because this is gonna be a little shorter episode. So at the same time, traditional Hollywood is under pressure. Studios are cutting budgets, consolidating projects, and rethinking risk in post-streaming boom world. Major players like Warner Brothers and Disney have tightened spending, reduced output, and shifted strategies as subscriber growth slows and theatrical models fluctuate. The old system of spend big and hope for global returns is being questioned. The old system of sense that the legacy structure is in transition and not everyone comfortable is with that. So that's the thing also, not even the studios can see the possibilities of what this future is. So they're cutting back. Now, they've kind of, and I've talked about this on the show many times, they've sort of cornered themselves into a corner because now they have a system that's so big that in order to even control that system or to keep it running and keep it afloat, you have to do projects that do not take a lot of risk. So the IPs are very much very popular. So you'll do a Barbie movie or another Marvel movie or something with that's already popular that we understand, a very popular IP, a sequel, or a prequel or something people understand. They don't want to take a risk on something completely new. I mean, if you think about Indiana Jones and how popular that series was, well, there was a first Indiana Jones where they didn't know if it was going to be popular. They had to just make it, right? Steven Spielberg and his team and all that. They just had to make it and see if it was going to be popular. It turned out to be popular, but can a film like Indiana Jones be done today? Will someone take that risk today? And that's kind of like sometimes you're like, geez, I don't know. I don't think so. I think that they'll be too afraid to take that risk. But here's the exciting part about this whole thing. The exciting part is that disruption, when things are disruptive, it creates opportunity. With AI assisted editing, script analysis tools, virtual production stages popularized by projects like the Mandalorian and global distribution platforms like YouTube and Netflix, filmmakers no longer have to wait for permission. The gatekeepers are fewer, the pathways are broader, and the audience is global. If you understand today's ecosystem, data driven development, niche targeting, hybrid release strategies, you can build momentum without the traditional machine behind you. And that's the key thing about really understanding the industry and diving into articles. Go out, go to use ChatGPT, right? Use AI to learn about AI. Use ChatGPT and ask it, show me 5 articles or videos if you're a more visual person that have to do with today's filmmaking uh, taking different shape. That's just one prompt that you can give to ChatGPT to learn about filmmaking, the industry today and how it's moving and what's happening and how is AI integrating with it. And what do you need to know as a filmmaker or as a writer or as an actor? What do I need to know to keep up with what's happening? Now you have to like do this in conjunction with making sure that your craft is strong, right? You got to still work on your craft. You still have to work on your, if you're an actor, you have to act. If you're a musician, you got to play. If you're a director, you got to direct. So all these things still take into account, so you don't abandon that skill. So this isn't the Hollywood of 20 or 50 years ago, and that's actually the point, right? Let's see if I can put this here. That doesn't hold. Oops. Earthquake. See, this isn't the Hollywood of 20 or 50 years ago. And that's the actual point. The rules that govern the era of massive studio lots and long theatrical windows don't apply the same way anymore. It's no longer just about getting discovered, right? It's about building leverage, owning IP, and understanding digital ecosystems. For creators willing to study how industry works right now, not how it worked in 1976 or 2006. This may be one of the most exciting times in history to get into film. The chaos isn't a warning, it's actually an invitation. So the industry right now is inviting people. You know why? Because it needs more creatives. The industry right now needs more people that are willing to learn, that are willing to apply that learning, and that are willing to really take control of their art and control of their film, control of their creativity in a way that's going to speed up the process. But you have to take that into account and take that, you know, shift your viewpoint. If you hate social media, if you hate um, AI, You got to shift your viewpoint a little bit, because you have to understand that these are the tools that you're going to use to make your art faster, not make your art. I'm not saying use AI to make your art. That's what we had a show on that earlier this week, and that was AI against prompters, right? We have artists, sorry, artists against prompters. So we have actual artists that really work on the craft. They just have a pen and paper, they have their instrument, they have their film cameras, they have their stories. It is legitimately only have to do with them creating the art. And then we have prompters on AI, and they prompt the machine to do what they want it to do. They're not the same as artists. They're not. They may become artists in the prompting world, and they may be able to prompt really well, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about real artists. Now, as a real artist, as I mentioned, if you're working in film, you can use this AI to make your films faster, to clean them up faster, to promote them better using AI, to cast better using AI, to uh, tighten up your script. If you have a script and you have like dialogue that's maybe the grammar is wrong, the spelling is wrong, clean it all up. And this way now it's ready faster. That first draft, you can look at it and it's ready. You can give it to someone, they can read it, they can come back with notes, and then and then take those notes, put it into AI, have it add those notes, clean it up, read it, do a second draft now, and then you keep moving forward with that. That speeds up the process to such a degree. And maybe you like that process and don't want to use AI for that. That's fine. You use AI for what you think it can make your workflow faster and faster. That's it. That's the key thing, is to go fast. And now there's people say, well, art shouldn't be made forced or shouldn't be fast, or art, I shouldn't have to be forced to make fast. Okay, then don't make it fast, but utilize it for the things that are the minutia of the film industry that you don't like. Think about that for a second. There's something that we all have to do in film, right? For me, it's the marketing part of it, right? Having to sit down and now your film is done, and now you got to upload it to Film Freeway. You got to put all that stuff in there. Then you got to send it out to festivals. Then you got to answer the festivals. Well, maybe AI can help you with that. Maybe AI can make that faster, right? You can hire somebody to do those things as well, right? So you don't need to use AI, but you find one thing that's happening in your industry, in your art, in your creativity. That one thing that's outside of the creative part that you hate doing, like the casting part. Maybe you don't like casting. Maybe there's a way you can use AI to get a bunch of resumes in, and AI can actually manage them, and you can and give you a clean 10 people that you can look at without having to actually, I'm going to try that, because I love casting, but getting a space and then putting out the ads and then having sit there and then having people come in and having them audition, that takes a lot of time. And maybe I can get a stack of people that are qualified, that have all the stats, the resume, the headshots. Maybe you can streamline it from it. I don't know, but you find the thing that can help you in your industry. And that's really the only thing I can really say, the only thing that I can advise you. And if you're a filmmaker, that's what I would do. I would look at what part of this industry it's really hard. Maybe you're a director and you're not an editor. Maybe you don't like to edit, but you want to start making your own films, right? So you can go out and take classes. That's what I did. And just during COVID, that's what I did. I basically, during that time that we had off because of the pandemic, I took courses and classes on editing, and I taught myself how to edit. That's the only way I can edit my film, which I was in the middle of, or at least I was towards the waiting for an editor, and I couldn't get an editor, so it was really hard to do that. I'm blessing her, maybe. So that's the main thing that you can use it for. Like for me, I haven't needed it for editing yet, just yet, but I'm looking at ways that it can help me clean up the audio, clean, for my own personal film that I'm making on my own, not for a bigger project that I'm involved in, but for my own thing that I want to shoot a short film. I have a short film coming up that I'm shooting. Why not just use to see how it could help me with editing processes and color correction and audio correction, all the things that I really don't know how to do, and I don't really like to do them because I don't, first of all, I don't have the ear for the audio, and I messed up so much stuff on my last film that I needed to hire a human. This was before AI was so popular. I mean, AI was around, but it wasn't what it is today. This was a few years ago, 3 years ago, and I had somebody else. No, this was actually longer than that. I've been here for 4 years, so it's four years ago. Wow. I had someone in Germany, an editor, edit my film. No, not sorry. I edited my film. I had somebody do the color correction, and I had someone do the audio, all the sound for my film. Music was musicians, real people that I knew, artists that I followed, and people that can fit the bill, people that I found online on a couple of sites that provide music for film. And I use those things. But even think about that. That was how many years ago? I used a site. People had their music out there, and I was able to use their music, and I was able to pay an editor via computer. The guy was in Germany, but because of technology, I used the technology. See what I'm saying? So when new technology comes in, it's important for us to start using it, you know? So there is a big shakeup going on right now in Hollywood. I shouldn't say just Hollywood, but in the film industry, because Hollywood now is sort of like America, because there's Hollywoods everywhere in America. And I think it's important for us to really just embrace all the changes and not get all caught up in what people say. And, people, you're going to run into a lot of negativity in social media, right? People just saying nasty things to you. And, I mean, I usually just giggle at what they say because I know that there's a hurting person there, a sad person that's under some type of a pressure that they're unhappy with their own situation. So they're using that energy and that, that negativity to basically pass it out to you, and for me, it's more of a sad thing, right? And I'm not being cynical about that. I'm being very sincere. I do feel that someone that goes out of their way to make you feel bad about something is in a really dark, sad place, right? I really do feel that. So when you're out there and you're using AI and talking about it, and you're a filmmaker or a musician or an artist, whatever that you're doing, and someone says any negative comments, you got to take that and you got to understand that it's going to bring in a lot of negativity. We're right now in the wild, wild west of AI. Look at what they're posting out there, these AI videos and stuff. They're all silly. You have like Mr. Rogers fighting Muhammad Ali or something, and everyone thinks that's hilarious. And where's that going? What is that? It's just like a funny thing. Like somebody thought, oh, hey, what would be funny if Mr. Rogers fought Muhammad Ali? I mean, it's sort of thing that I looked at it and I was like, oh, okay. And I moved on. It didn't do anything for me. You want to see something magical. You want to be inspired. You know that Mr. Rogers and Muhammad Ali are no longer alive. They did great things, both men, but they're no longer alive. So you know it's not them. And it's like, what is it? What is the benefit, right? So right now it's the wild, wild west of AI. So while it's in this state of fluctuation and people, so many AI companies coming around. Have you ever used AI? Well, we can help you right now. Hey, we can help you. AI, we can help you. There's so many being bombarded with AI companies that are offering the world to you. While that's happening, you should be learning. You should be taking classes. You should be studying. I'm doing so many things right now on AI, learning about it. I'm reading a lot of articles. I'm doing a lot of videos. I haven't paid for anything. This is all free. I've been actually using AI to learn about AI. It's been helping me without any problems. It doesn't complain. It answers all my questions. Um, and I'm learning a ton, and it's it's been incredible. All right, friends, I'm going to cut this one short a little bit today. I have some things that I got to get to today. Very busy day here in Nashville, Tennessee for this little Puerto Rican man, and I'm chilling. I got a lot of things to do, so I hope y'all all doing well. I mean, I'm not chilling actually. I'm out. Chilling means is chilling just mean that you're not doing anything, or is it like you're doing stuff and I'm chilling with my work, or I'm chilling here? Because I hear when people say I'm chilling means it kind of like you're not really doing anything. All right, that's another conversation for another day. But thank you everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you all so much. Let me see. I got a little. Somebody says a counterpart. I don't know who exactly this is, but they're somebody on Rumble. I appreciate it. They say great show. Thank you very much. Appreciate y'all so much. I will see you all tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Central for another edition in the arts for the John Henry Soto Show. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Take care of each other. God bless you all. I'll see you tomorrow. And as always, peace.